Record.
All right, so good morning once again. Let me confirm if you can see my screen. Hope you can all see my screen. Is my screen up now? Shoot,
Okay,
you can see it, right?
I'll see this.
All right.
Yes.
All right. We started looking at Power BI visuals, how we can turn these visuals to insights, presentation. Then remember I told us that the key element of Power BI that makes it to stand out as one of the best data analytics tool is the availability of so many visualization models. You can see the whole of them, they are very much that you can never run out of idea as far Power BI is concerned. So we looked at how to use Power BI cards together with measures yesterday. And then I said cards are basically for presenting single metric values, just like the three model you have at the top. And then we'll also talk about table model or table visual as another visual for aggregate analysis or for categorical analysis where you are comparing two or more values. I advise that in that scenario, you are to use either table or you are to use matrix. So in this section, I'll be looking at different models, how we can also use them to analyze our data. So let's look at Q and A. So I'm looking at Q and A. Q and A. So how do we define Q and A? Before the definition, this is the command. This is the model, Q and A. It's a powerful Power BI analytics tool that depends on natural language processing. So it functions like Google, just like the way you can launch your browser and then search for something and then instantly you get a result recommendation. So, but it's wired in a way that it cannot search outside the data you are working with. So it's actually a natural language. So the Q and A visual in Power BI allow users to ask questions about their data in natural language and receive answers. In natural language and receive answers in the form of visualization. So these answers are received in the form of visualization, something that someone can see, just like what I have within my dashboard. They are all visualization. So here I'm using CAD to visualize my insights, what I have been able to draw from the data I was given as a data analyst. Here I'm using graph to also present my insight. Here I'm using table, and here I'm also using table. So all of these, they are called visuals. So what we are saying is that when you ask this particular visual question, it can answer the question and present it as visual. Okay, so let's quickly look at how to apply it. So I'll try to create maybe some cards, or maybe one card or some report here. using the Power BI Q&A. So to apply it, all you need to do is to select it. So you need to have purpose in your mind, the question you want to answer with it. What kind of analysis do you want to perform with it? That need to have been settled within you. So if I click on it now, it's going to open the search box where I'll be allowed to search for my desired question. And then the answer will be provided instantly. So I actually find this very interesting as a person. I believe there are some analysis in an office that your boss does not expect you to waste time. So in that kind of scenario where they can just ask you, what is this? What is the total amount realized from certain country? How many customers came today? You see, all those kind of sharp question. You may not have time to be, creating card or measure. So you can just deploy this particular function. So as you can see, it came with some suggested. Let me expand it so that we can see it very well. It came with some suggested questions, just like trying to read your mind with it intelligence. Could it be that you want to know about what the top city by total gross? This is one question. It has already synchronized from your data. Or top cities by count total entries. So if any of these does not fall within the question you intend to ask, then you use the search box. So let's assume I want to answer this question. Remember the question we answered here yesterday. The question was, what is the total gross income from all the city? So let's say I do not have this card and I want to achieve that with the Power BI Q&A. So I will just type what is the total. So you have to be mindful of the keyword you are using. The keyword must be words that have been used in the data set. What is the total gross income? No, we have income there. Income from all the cities. From all the cities. If I'm correct there. From all the city. Don't think my city is correct. From all the city. So now, once you are done typing, you can see that it's already searching. But just to facilitate it, you can click on submit. And then what is happening right now is going through your data where it finds that, it has analyzed it and also create a graph of it for you automatically. So now, this is just a displayed result. If I search for something else now, I will no longer have access to this. So which means that I have to convert it towards a visual. And to do that, you click on this icon you are seeing here. If you hover on it, what did you say? Turn this Q&A result into a standard visual. So I will just click on it. So the moment you do that, it means it's now a visual. It's now a visual that you can have here. Let's say I have it here. Now, the Power BI Q&A gave this to me as a graph. Meanwhile, my intention is to present my finding in a tabular form. So what will I do? I will just click on this visual that was created by the Q&A and just quickly switch to this table. That is all. So you have your report in a table form. So whichever way it comes, you can always change your plan here after you have converted it to to visual. Please, I want to know if we are following. Is that point understood? Are we good?
Yes, I'm following.
All right, all right. So now we are going to ask one more question. So you can see that you may not even need to waste your time using measures, then before you can get your card. Just ask. But depending on you anyway, I wouldn't want to say it's wasting of time. There are some persons that might find one thing more interesting than the other. So that is one. Then remember, all you need to do, if I want the appearance to look like others, just like I explained to us in yesterday's section. So all you need to do is to copy the format. So let me put this one here. Copy the format, click on one of the existing reports, and then select Format Painter, and then just touch it. That is all. So you get it formatted just like the first one. So let me see, hope I selected it well. Okay, it's like I copied just the border section. So let me use this paint. Okay, so it's just that I may not have enough space because of I am. Now, anytime you are having space issue, please, you can adjust this dashboard a little bit by collapsing this section called filter. If you collapse this section, you can always bring it back. You can collapse this section. You can even temporarily collapse this section when you are looking for space. So after you have collapsed then you can go to view. If you come to view, you will see where you have pages. So from here, this is the view you are now. If you want a wider one, you can say, okay, fit to this width. So you can see that it has, since I created some space, it has adjusted my dashboard a little bit. I can come here and say, okay, actual size. So you can see actual size it appears bigger than the first one. So it depends on you. So I can come here and say fit to page. That is where I want to see all my items. Okay, so that is how to use Q&A. So I will not want to spend more time there. It's a very simple model to use in Power BI. Very simple. Just make sure that your questions are constructive. Your questions are questions that are targeting answering a particular word analysis question. That is all. And it's just for you to know how to call it and then type your question. And then know how to switch it from just display result to Power BI what? Standard visual. If there's no question, I go to the next topic. Any question? I should go on. Okay. Now let's look at another important component of Power BI or function, which is called the Power BI slicer. The Power BI slicer.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. I just thought of something.
Okay.
I just thought of something.
Go ahead, sir.
What if in a situation where we have two different data carrying at least a unique, no, a same situation whereby let's assume under the data and healthcare data, we have a header called gross income.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Okay.
And then you are using that Q&A pattern to ask that question. And just like you did here, what is the total sum of gross income?
Okay.
Now, if we are to ask such questions, how do we direct it to the particular data, knowing fully well that the two data we have has that particular header that we are about to ask? So how do we direct it, like channel it to that particular data we are asking for?
Okay, so it's a very simple question, and Power BI is intelligent enough to understand what you are saying. What you are saying is that you have two different data sets with the same header description, right? and you are not
Yes.
sure that the answer that will be provided will actually target the particular data. Now, if you look here now, which of the data are you working on? Just tell me, which of the data are you working on? From what part?
Data, the first data.
How do you know that it's false data? What
I
is the
think
difference between
that
two of them? Let's say they have the same name. There is something attached to
mark
one that
above
good. That's
there
kind of maybe verification.
shows that
Good.
that
Now,
was the last one you clicked.
yes, the data sets you are working on, you ought to have selected it from here before asking that question. Are you following? Did you get that?
Come again.
If I want to ask a question, before I ask the question,
No, 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 no.
I ought to have clicked on the particular data. Click on the particular data before you call in the visual. What I'm saying is that if I want to ask question from this data, so I ought to have clicked on this data like this. You understand? Make sure that you are on this data, and then before you ask the question.
Yes.
Exactly. But
Okay.
if
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
if that is not clear enough, then if you feel that there'll be conflict, you can actually make them different manually by yourself. You can just go to that data set and change or remove a letter so that if at all you feel that you are not able to get it that way. All right, so let's quickly proceed. So I was talking about introducing another powerful function in Power BI. In fact, if you know everything in Power BI and you do not know this function, then you are still limited. You are still limited because if I ask you now that this dashboard, is it dynamic or is that interactive? What will be your answer? Okay, let me take it one by one. Let me start with Mr. Valentine. Mr. Val, is this dashboard dynamic? I don't know if you can hear me. You have to unmute. Okay.
Well, I would say that it depends on what do you mean by the word dynamic. Are you asking if they are interactive? The what is here is whether it's affecting this one.
Yes, the word interactivity
Yes, it's
is different
interactive
from
because when a figure here changes here, it will affect the other one.
that means it's not static. The figures what changes. Yeah. So
No,
now,
it's not static.
yeah, good.
Mm.
So that means it's also what dynamic. It changes per time. Now the question is, you are using this model to answer a specific analysis question. And the question you are asking is the total gross income generated from all city. Now, supposing you are asked not to create another model, use this same model to answer the total income from only Mandalay. Use this same model to answer the total gross income from Yagon. You are not recreating different models. The same model you have created is what you are using to output different what insight. So for that to be possible, to avoid duplication of your models, you have to understand what a slicer is. So what we are looking at now, right, Power BI slicer. That is what we
Yes.
are looking at now, Power BI slicer. Right. A slicer in Power BI is a type of filter. It's a type of filter, but this time around is an advanced filter that allows users to select specific values or range of values to display in a report. So in a simple term, it allows you to narrow down to a particular what report. For example, now here, you are giving us the total gross income from these three category what cities. So if I say, okay, narrow this report down to what Yago, narrow this report down to Napito, narrow this report down to Mandalay,
you need the slicer concept. So how do we go about that? So for you to activate your slicer, all you need to do is to click on it. Here, this is it. Make sure that you are not on any of the existing visual. Just click outside so that you don't turn an existing report to the slicer. Make sure that you are off from anyone. If selected, then you can now go ahead and click on the slicer. So the moment you click on it, like I just told us now, it is a type of filter. All the way from Microsoft Excel and Python, I have explained what filter is. Filter means you are given a container of data or value, and you want to see only a particular type per time. So which means that like the question we want to address with the slicer now, focusing on this same report. This report is currently giving us the total gross income from all the cities. And we are asked to filter out only Mandalay on this report. So now, once you add the slicer, is an empty slicer at the moment. There's no value in it. So the question now is that how do I know which header or which data to be given to the slicer? That depends on your analysis intention. What exactly do you want to narrow down here? It's something that you should calculate within yourself. You don't need formula to do that. So like I said now, I want to filter out per city. There must be a criteria for your slicing. In my own case, my criteria is what? I want to be selecting value here per city. So from that, or for that reason, I already know the header I am going to add here. So I'm going to look for city header. I already know the header I'm going to add here. I will look for city header and add it here. So that automatically gives me what? The three unique what? Values in that column. So now, if I want to filter per Mandalay, I will just click on what? Mandalay. Check what happens. It goes round. It goes round. So this is just like the command just re-reported. As a data analyst, that first report we are seeing, you are supposed to break it down and obtain your observation and your recommendation where necessary. You pen it down. After that, each time you slice, you get a different what? Report across all your analysis model. Then you have to start interpreting the report again, take note of your observation and recommendation, and then slice again. For example, let me observe, I want to know at the end of the day, let's say the direct question is the company want to know within that 15.38 we're having, which of the city actually generated what? The highest what? Percentage. So now I will slice individually. When I slice here, I take note of the value I'm getting. This is 5.06. When I slice here, I take note of the value I'm getting. This is 5.27. And then when I finally slice here, I take note of the value. So if I ask us now which of them generated the highest what? Gross income, is Napital. That is on this. Good. That is on this report. Now, if I want to interpret it on this report, what does it say? That we have what? 328 transactions that generated what?
For now.
Then if I come to, I think it's the same report we are giving here. This one, you don't need interpretation. Okay, if I come here, this means that what? This same number of transactions amounted to what? To this what? 5% what? Tax. So depending on the numbers of report you have created, that will determine how impactful, how, you know, how good your slicer will communicate. Now, that is slicing with one criteria. What about if the question changes to, okay, now you are displaying information from one unique value, city. Now, I want to know, I want to display the total gross income for both Yagon and Napital in this model. Because right now you are just seeing what? Napital. How do I combine the one of Yagon? This is what you do. You hold down your shift button and then click on the next one. So, your control button. Select the first one, hold down the control button, then pick the next one. Now, the report I am giving now is not for 3 of them. It's for just what? 2 cities. So my analysis report have changed across board. What it now means on this report is Napital and Yagon generated what? 10.32 what? K gross income. Then if I also come on this report where I was actually performing counting analysis, it then means that the total numbers of transactions that happen in these 2 selected cities is this. And then you can also check it here. The total tax paid from all the transactions from these 2 cities is this. So you can see how flexible I'm able to what? To twist the content of my analysis model with the help of the slicer. So it's a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool, particularly when you are doing a real-time presentation. Maybe you, as a data analyst, you come probably during their board meeting, you stand before them, you connect your projector, and you want to really give them figures concerning their business, and you are using Power BI dashboard like this, you are going to be using slicer to be giving them what? Displaying different words, insights. Now, now, if you want to remove it, you just click, so you can see that what? I have returned everything back. Now, I told us yesterday that every model you are working with, every visual you are working with, has its own what? Format. To make it look what? Presentable, and to align with other appearance, there is need for me to also improve the appearance.
Yeah, your network is terrible today.
Small. This, all this Glo and Airtel sometime. Okay, so I hope you were still with me before the time out. So I was trying to show us how you can actually format the visual. There is need for us to also fine-tune its appearance. So let me just show us how to do that. So you click on it just like we did yesterday. You switch to the format visual. Then you also have its own available formatting commands. So like I told us yesterday, what you have under visual focuses on the content of the visual. What you have under general focuses on the what? The container, which is the visual itself. So if I want to start by talking to the values, then I'll go towards slicer setting. From here, how do I want the slicer to be presented? Remember that your dashboard should have a way of influencing what? Good user interface. The user should enjoy seeing your reports. So if the way it came by default, which is vertical, if I'm not okay with it, I can change it to what? Tile. You see, tile has given me what? Another what? Form. Then if I'm not okay with tile, I can also change it to drop. That is, each time I come here, I have to click on the drop down before what? I pick an item. But I would prefer using what? Tile, so that all the information can be boxed. Now, after that, we still have, let me collapse this and then probably go to value first. Go to value. I want to make sure that the values are visible and readable. So I can just increase the size a little and change the color to the color we are using. And then the padding, the space between each of the item within their boxes is called what? Padding. So if I want to add some, then the border line, if I want to, you can see that you have all the border lines what? Marked. So you can disable any one. But here I'm leaving them. I just want to change the what? The color so that everything will blend. Then if I want to increase the thickness of that border line, you can also what? Do that. So all of this is you trying to have an interactive and user-friendly dashboard. Now, the background of it, if you want to do anything there, currently there's no background, so you can choose a background. If I'm choosing background in this case, there might be need for me to change the text color back to, let's say what? White. Okay, that was not the place where I ought to have changed the value. Was that not the place for value? Font color. Let me see. Okay, so I'll change this to what? To white. So I can. So this is how you can actually. Then if you want to format the whole of the visual here like this, then you have to switch to what? General, and then just go straight to effect and then choose your background. If I still want the same background, just as a style. If you feel this is better, fine. So you have to find a way of placing it in a way that it will form a design. Okay, so this is how to use slicer. So you can actually have multiple slicer. Mr. Valls, like you have question?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So you can actually have multiple slicer because this slicer that you activated is actually answering one of your analysis question. What about if you have another analysis question whereby they want to know the percentage of the gender, the percentage of the gender. This time around, the focus is not on city. What will you do? If you are asked now, this particular value you are displaying, we want to know how many gender or what is the proportion of female or male in this particular report. So you definitely need another slicer. So I'll just come back here and create what? Another slicer. But this time around, the criteria is based on my target, which is what? Gender. So I already know that what? I'll populate this one with what? Gender. So I'll just click here. Then it will now bring out what? The two unique gender. So you can have as many as possible what? Slicer, depending on the targeted what? Questions you want to filter out within your data. So, like I say, always form a good arrangement. Don't place them anyhow. Let them have a way of formatting or arranging your interface. So now I want to format this one as well. If I want to give it the same format I have given to this one, like I said before, just click on it and then go to format what? Printer to save your time. Make sure that you are on the edge of that very one and then see if you can. Let's see if, okay, I think I wasn't on it. Let me try it again. Oh, okay, I think we are there, but we have to format the, let me see, it's like a small, let me see. So it's there, but it's giving us a different style. This my report is becoming jam-packed. Okay, let me put it here. Let me see if I can have a design like this here. I'm looking at how I can have a good design. Okay, after all here, I'm even on. Oh, this is even touching this. Well, let me take it down. Take it down. Let's say let me just manage this design. Okay. So now if I click here now, you can see that what? This is for female. And if you click here, this is for male. Why you can still slice with what? You can say, okay, I want to view per city. So nothing stop you from viewing randomly with your available slicer. And remember, there was something I told us yesterday that you can even use the reports as slicer. Each of the reports can be used as slicer, so long they answer your analysis question. For example, now, if I bring back everything, let's say I bring back everything. Let me see, where did I click last? That is showing this value.
You highlighted male and
Male,
Mandela.
Male and Mandalay. I'm looking at where. Okay, now let's assume that you want to filter here. If you double click here, like I told us yesterday, you can also use it to what? To filter round. So that is, you can clear selection here. That is what I should do. This one, where is my clear selection icon here? In order to return. Okay, let me just click on this one.
The funnel, yes.
Just looking at the funnel. There are no filter visual. Okay, so I think it's not there. Okay, so that is how to go about the slicer. So it's very important to also understand how to use slicer. So we have covered two. We have covered how many of them did we cover today now? We've covered the slicer and which other one again? Q and A.
Q and A.
Q and A. So
Q&A.
Q and A. So we like us to go and stay with them because the remaining one, which is thinking of what I can easily bring that will make sense. The time will not permit me to, because I really want to go to work on time today. Let me see. Let me leave the remaining one to the next class. So the next class, I'll be considering more advanced visuals, like how we can analyze with map, and then how we can create a gauge, and then KPI. So we still have some key visuals to talk about. So any question?
From my own end, I don't think there's any question because these ones are not really something that
Difficult to
that
apply. Okay.
but it's very transparent.
Okay.
But I'm asking, I'm thinking of this map. Is it like a geographical expert having the total map of the world within it, or you will be the one to create the map for yourself? More like you want to talk about Nigeria now. The geographical area, is it already there? Or you'll be the one to start choosing the countries or
Yeah, that is why you should be in that class so that you know how it's going to work. Are you planning to
so
travel?
you can't even flash
Are you planning to
flash a
travel?
little light
You are
on it.
indirectly telling me that you may not be in that class, so you want to have some tips. Try to be there.
No. Where am I traveling to? If anywhere I'm traveling to, I'm going with the system then now. So
Okay.
there's no big deal.
Okay, we'll look at that.
Yes, no, there's no big deal.
We'll look at that in the next class.
I'm just curious because seeing a map there on the
Yes.
it's
So
just something that's like
every
I
country
think this is not
location has been captured on the internet. So it's the one that will factor that out. Once you see Nigeria geographical area in your data, it will bring all the states in Nigeria. Once you see UK, it will bring once you see any country, it will bring all the states. That one is not your business as a data analyst. All you need to do is to know how to execute it. But you get to know more about it in the next class, like I said.
okay.
So,
So when are we meeting again?
Yes, before we know when we
You
are.
are always asking this question.
Yes. I know him. He like planning ahead like me. We like, our time.
The truth of the matter is that I'm traveling tomorrow morning. So
You
that is why
said
I'm
that
asking
yesterday.
to know
Okay, so before the
if
next
it's
meeting, before I forget to give all the assignment,
like yesterday. Please, you are to come up with not less than 2 different dashboards, not less than 2 different dashboards with 2 different data sets. Make sure that your arrangement, your color usage, your slicer, everything is well structured, as if you want to present it to an organization. So just get two good data and use them to prepare 2 dashboards. So that is for that. Then our next meeting today is